My name is Siggy and I'm German. I work as a coordinator in the patent department. I have a background in linguistics, but I also have an education in patents, and that is as a qualified intellectual property administrator, which is a new education in Denmark. My job at LM is to administrate our patent portfolio. We have about 1,000 patents or patent applications in our portfolio, and I look at all the administrative matters. I make sure that we don't miss any deadlines and that we comply with the law around the world. I've been with LM for 2.5 years now, and when I first started, my job was created because LM had decided to insource all patent tasks. So in the beginning, my job was to make our database work, which was kind of new for me because I had not done anything like that before. So I had to find out how the database thinks, but also to find out about patent law and how to include it in that database so that we won't lose any rights. And that was my main task at the start, and it was also why I was hired by LM. One of the most interesting things I've worked with LM was to make things work from the start, because I'm the first coordinator. So when I started, we had a lot of paper files and everything had to be put in order. The most important thing in patents is not to lose any deadlines, because if we do that, we lose our rights and then we might lose our freedom to operate. So deadlines are very important for us, and that was interesting for me because I had to look into patent law, I had to look into details, and it might sound very boring, but I kind of like that work. I like working for LM because I think there's a lot of freedom in my work. Like for example, when I have asked my managers to implement some changes, they have always asked me, yeah, can you give me some details? Can you also tell me the consequences these changes might have? And then they've said, yeah, sounds like a good idea, go for it. And in other, let's say, traditional Danish companies, you get this, but we've always done it this way, can't we continue doing it this way? I haven't heard that here so far, and I really like that because it seems like good ideas are appreciated and they also get implemented, and yeah, it feels good to be a part of that. Another thing I like about working for LM is that I like the product, and I don't know if you've ever seen how a blade is produced. I think that process in itself is quite fantastic, but one of the first days at my job I had a few days in production, and then I looked at my colleagues at site how they handled the blade and like how they ran their hands along the blade to see if there are uneven spots or flaws that couldn't even be seen with the eyes, but you could feel them, and also they listened to the blade for air pockets or whatever you can find by listening, I don't know. And it was so clear that blade was their baby and they wouldn't let it go until it was most perfect, and I like that, to see how proud everybody is of the product.